Loading? Oh, wow. There it is. There it is. Hello. Come one, come all for another New York Football Giants training camp recap. They were in full pads today. Watch your damn ads. I hope you're having a great day. You, who's hearing this exclusively on YouTube before I cut off the audio for audio people, I hope you're having a great day because it is July 28th, 2025, and it's Talk of Giants brought to you by SeatGeek. Jeff, can you please close that door for me? Because we got to talk about a fully padded practice. The first time that the Giants put on full pads this year. We got to talk all about it. Evan Neal? Does Evan Neal look kind of good at guard? Malik Neighbors made some more plays today because today is a day that ends in a Y. Abdul Carter putting on full pads certainly did not disappoint as well. Dexter Lawrence had some really good plays. He didn't participate in 1v1s. Here's what we're going to do today. If you're an audio person, just letting you know in advance, today is going to be much more of a YouTube preferred vehicle because we're going to show a lot of plays from practice. And I'll be honest, like this today, whenever they're in full pads for the first time, it's always a day that you want to capture as much and watch as much as possible. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to show, I watched a lot of it through already, but I also will be taking like new thoughts and new observations from it because today was the most overwhelming day in terms of clip gathering and things like that. I got every single 1v1 rep and every single 1v1 play of O-line and D-line. So we're going to watch that, and I think we're going to watch it from the start. So if you're a podcast person, I'll talk through it. But if you're a YouTube person, you're going to be able to see all the practice clips and shit like that. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everybody. Today was a really good day. Don't get me a little too excited about Evan Neal. I'm not, but we know that Evan Neal can be a kick-ass run. We know that Evan Neal could be a good run blocker, maybe even a kick-ass run blocker. And I'll tell you what, just from a roster standpoint first, before we get into watching everything, just from a roster standpoint, if John Michael Schmitz goes down with an injury, I think they're going to slide Runyon or Greg Van Roten over to center. We've talked about that. Evan Neal's the first guard off the bench. If a guard goes down, Evan Neal is it. There's not another guy right now that is rotating in with the first team. I mean, Evan Neal is. The only changes that they're making on the offensive line right now is Evan Neal slides in and he will occasionally go in for either one of the guard spots. I think he's been going in a little bit more for Greg Van Roten as they have been rotating. If they do rotate, I still think GVR is the clear starter. I think John Runyon is the clear starter. I still do have this theory and this thought in my head that it may make sense at certain points of the year, depending on how Evan Neal evolves, if Greg Van Roten and Evan Neal are rotating in and out at guard. I'm not the biggest fan of offensive line rotations, but if Evan Neal can be that much of an advantage as a run blocker, I mean, especially the inside the red zone, if he could be an advantage and he can push a pile, that's something that will really help out the Giants offense in the long haul and in the long run. They weren't able to do much of anything in the red zone, but especially when you get down to the red zone, you're not really running out of shotgun. If you listen to the show over and over again, you've heard me say that the Giants run much better out of shotgun than they do under center. You're not really running the ball out of shotgun inside the red zone. But if you can get under center and Evan Neal can help kick ass and move a pile, then that's pretty good too. So first day of full pads, a lot of running. They did a lot of running the ball. Tyron Tracy had some nice runs. Cam Scatterbo, one of the first times that he gets a good amount of reps and plays with the first team. And I think he's earned it, man. I really do think he earned it between his receiving ability, his first 4 practices, and now the last 3 practices. I think 3 practices now, he's had a run of 10+ yards. So Cam Scatterbo has earned the, kind of, I don't know about moving up the depth chart, but more opportunities with the first team, second team, and things like that. So why don't we get to it? Why don't we stop bullshitting and dancing around it? Why don't we get right to showing the O-line, D-line 1v1s? I'm going to start sharing my screen now. I'm going to go to the window, and I'm going to press Premiere, and I'm going to click Share. And Jeff, you're going to let me know when it's showing the screen. Is it working? Yeah. Perfect. All right, so here's the first play because here is the first team. There was a total of 14 minutes that they actually had the team drill and the team period, I was able to edit it down to 5 minutes and 15 seconds into every single one. So here's Abdul Carter versus Jermaine Illuminor. Look at the bend. Look at that bend. Now, I would say, Carter doesn't necessarily win, and maybe Jermaine wins that rep and he wins that play. But just see the bend that Abdul Carter can have. Normal human beings are not supposed to be able to bend like that and also stay on their feet. Like, that's not a guy that's about to get put on his ass. That's a guy that, okay, maybe didn't win the play, but he stays up, and just look at that. That's not normal. That's not normal. I want to make sure. Hold on one second. Oh, perfect. It's working great. I love that. All right, next one. Starters still. Elijah Chapman, Greg Van Roten at right guard. Nothing too much. Nothing too crazy. GVR's old. Elijah Chapman doesn't really do any moves there. Center, John Michael Schmitz against Nacho. I think JMS kind of locks him down. This is JMS at the Senior Bowl right here. Yeah, locks him down. Nacho ain't too good of a pass rusher. Jeremiah, Roy Robertson Harris going up against John Runyon. And Roy Robertson Harris falls down. What was really apparent today, as I'm just going to maybe kind of let this play, I think James Hudson is going to have a really nice play against Brian Burns. What was really apparent today is the depth of defensive linemen outside of Dex. Like, there's question marks there, man. And we kind of knew that heading into the year, as you see Marcus Bowe get out of his stance well. Maybe needs to deal with power a little bit better, but you see the quick feet, mirroring ability stays with him. So that's a nice play for Marcus Bowe. But Dexter Lawrence did not participate in these 1v1s. It's a shame. He doesn't need to participate in these 1v1s, but the depth behind him, like, I wanted Darius Alexander to have a little bit of a better practice. He had a good practice yesterday. He didn't have the best of days today. Just didn't necessarily stand out. Like, in 1v1s, like, this is where he stood out in the Senior Bowl with his violent hands and stuff like that. Didn't really stand out here. And here's an Evan Neal play. Evan Neal versus Chauncey Golston. First rep of Evan Neal at guard in 1v1. Watch him. I want you to watch how he gets out of his stance. Boom, that punch. Boom. Nice punch. Chauncey Golston tries to redirect. Neal moves his feet. Boom. Nice job. Nice feet. Anchors well. Nice job. And that's Chauncey Golston, an edge rusher, but an NFL player, NFL strength. Nice job by Evan Neal there. Got Timon Fox versus Stone Forsythe. Stone Forsythe against Abdul Carter is going to be really fun to see, too. This is Kayvon Thibodeau against Jermaine Illuminor. Jermaine's just so balanced. You see that feeler? I mean, that could be hands to the face, but Jermaine's really good at throwing out that feeler hand just to kind of, hey, I'm gonna get leverage. I'm gonna dictate the terms of how this rep and how this play is gonna go. Moves his feet really well. Nice job by Illuminor. Stays nice and balanced. Jeremiah Ledbetter, number 96. Going up against, I believe that's a UDFA. Ledbetter hasn't really stood out so far. I'm kind of a little disappointed in that. Jordan Riley against Jimmy Morrissey. 1v1 as we keep going on. Now we're getting to a lot of the backups. Here's Darius Alexander. He tries this stutter thing. Like, who are you trying to fool, man? All right, yeah, he shows some power here and there, but not an awesome day from Darius Alexander. I thought he was going to build off of what he did yesterday. Didn't necessarily do that today. I mean, you see power there, but he's going up against Aaron Stinney. Maybe you want to see a little bit more. Trace Ford. Josh Azudu still at tackle. Josh Azudu, by the way, if you want a Josh Azudu update, Josh Azudu has been at tackle and he's been at guard. They've been kind of rotating him in and out. He is not, I don't think he's going to make the team. I would be very surprised if Josh Azudu makes the team, even if the Giants carry 10 offensive linemen. Last year on his rookie deal, I don't think he's making the team. All right, so we're working our way back to the right tackle. This is Marcus Bowe and Chauncey Golston. I don't really know who wins this. One of the things that I was looking at Bowe yesterday, as they're kind of hand fighting here, I think Bowe does a nice job of trying to grab those hands, but keep your feet moving. Keep your feet moving, right? And I'm not much of a film guy. I think everybody knows that, but kind of keep your feet moving here. You have the athleticism. Keep them moving, and you stay right in front of Chauncey Golston, and then there's no question on who wins that play. Darius Alexander again shows off power. Would want to see more violent hands, maybe break free a little bit more, but shows off some power. DJ Davidson, John Michael Schmitz, Senior Bowl mode activated. About 2 minutes through, have 3 minutes left to 1v1s. I'll continue to let it play. Kayvon Thibodeau, James. Oh, these guys were about to fight. I'm going to show you at the end. These guys were about to fight. So good rep from Kayvon. Stays balanced there. Abdul Carter, here we go again. What's he do here? I didn't see. Look at this club. Look at this right hand. And he clubs Stone Forsythe in the head. So I have a funny story. So during a Pop Warner game one time, I was a defensive lineman. My father's like, if this guy's holding you, club him in the ear hole. So I clubbed this kid in the ear hole, and he went down on all fours. And it's like illegal. I don't think you can do that. It's really funny. He gets clubbed in the head, and then he goes right past him. Oh, that's great. Elijah Chapman again. Austin Schlottman. Oh, that's awesome, Abdul Carter. I saw that in that play that Carter, beat Forsythe, and it just looked weird, but I didn't know it ended with a club to the helmet. That's awesome. Nacho and Jake Kubas. Jake Kubas looked pretty good in 1v1s, kind of held his own. Did a nice job. Roy Robertson Harris as a defensive end against Josh Azudu. Yeah, these guys are really not going to offer much as pass rushers. I think the only one that will offer anything as a pass rusher, the only defensive lineman other than Dexter Lawrence will be hopefully Darius Alexander and then Elijah Chapman. Here's another Evan Neal play. Back it up. Gets out of his stance. He's a powerful dude. Moves his feet well. Stays balanced. Maybe he's leaning a little bit. That's also Corey Durden. Okay. Corey Durden. Love you, bro. But the quality of linemen that Neal are facing today outside of Dex, if he is facing them, not awesome, of course. Another Darius Alexander play. Jay Kubas locks him down great. Good on Jay Kubas. Good on Jay Kubas. Boom. Shoots those hands, wins it right away. Mirrors well. Mirrors really well. Here's Abdul Carter and here Abdul Carter on Stone Forsythe. Not fair. Not fair. That's not fair, man. Working hands. Tries to rip, get by. Nice job. Stone Forsythe, got to keep your helmet on, bud. We know that Carter's going after your helmet. Keep it on. So we're wrapping up. Oh, this is nice. This is the best burn. I think we only had 1 or 2 Burns plays versus Illuminor, and this is really nice. Burns just works his hands, brings in that swim a little late, gets by. Nice job. Oh, is this OC, by the way? A lot of people were saying this is OC next to Brian Dable. So this is Brian Dable in the black shirt. A lot of people were thinking that's OC, and now I see it. I'm like, where were people saying that? Seeing that? Now I see it. Justin Pugh quote tweeted this and said the offensive line won the day. And I would have to agree, outside of Abdul Carter kind of just dominating. I don't know if any has anybody seen an interior defensive lineman have like a good play, a good rep? I mean, Elijah Chapman's kind of pushing Jimmy Morris. No, that's Runyon. Or was that Jimmy Morrissey? You saw Elijah Chapman pushing back there. Darius Alexander versus Marcus Bowe. We'll look at that. Bowe deals with the power well. So I don't know if any interior defensive lineman, and I don't know if any interior defensive linemen have a win. And this is just silly. I mean, Kayvon doesn't even finish the play. Quick swim right by. And looks at him as you get beat. That's embarrassing for James Hudson. They were about to fight, by the way. They were about to fight. And that's almost going to happen. I'll fast forward. We'll move along. DJ Davidson. Darius Alexander again. I think out of everybody, Darius Alexander got the most reps and got the most run. Here's Abdul Carter. Spin move. Stone Forsythe. Not fair. Sorry, Stone Forsythe. James Hudson and Kayvon. Oh, and this is it. And then this is the near fight. So watch this. James Hudson gets out of his stance pretty quick. Kayvon trying to work the corner, redirect inside, and then I'm just going to grab the back of your head, shove the back of your helmet, and shove it right down into the ground. Kayvon doesn't like that. They've been bickering all camp. You see this guy in the back? Look at the trainer, the guy by the cart. What are we doing? He's like, what are we doing? These guys have been bickering all camp so far. And I thought there was going to be a fight here. Marcus Bowe pulls James Hudson back by the horse collar. Get back, get back. And then eventually Dre Patterson's going to come out of nowhere and just be like, I have fucking had it. I have had it. Everybody come here and we are going to talk through this shit. So Dre Patterson's eventually is going to come in here and they're going to end it. That's going to be it. They're not going to run more. And then there's Dre Patterson in the white, all white. And he's like, everybody get the fuck over here. We're going to talk about this shit. And it was a spirited conversation after that. It was a spirited conversation. So there you go. There's every single 1v1 play. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a little bit. And I hope that was good, and I hope you enjoyed that. So what I will say about that, and then also during team drills as well, I talked about towards the end of yesterday how they had a ton of pre-snap like procedural penalties, offsides or false starts. And I had to cut out so many in the 1v1 plays. In the 1v1 where the ball is right there and you're waiting on it to snap. All you got to do is watch the ball. And I can't tell you how much I had to cut of, especially on the defensive side, guys jumping offside. It's enough. And then there was a team period later on where there were 3 pre-snap penalties in one series. And then eventually Brian Dable just loses his shit and is like, dude, like, what are we doing? This can't happen. And I couldn't tell if he was screaming at Marcus Bowe or Bo Collins or he was just yelling in their direction. But I noticed it heading into today. And then today, it was even worse. Losing 1v1 time and then a bunch of pre-snap penalties in 3 in one period. Like there are certain times where I'm watching this team. It's like, yeah, Neighbors is exciting. Obviously, Russ is exciting. Jackson Dart shows the excitement. Cam Scatterbo. There's things to be excited about, but they're kind of sloppy right now. They are not a cohesive, disciplined football team right now. They're not, and it's all happening pre-snap. And even there was a certain period today where Jameis Winston is trying to yell to Greg Dulcich on where to go and where to line up pre-snap. They're not a clean-cut football team right now. They have to clean things up. It's early in training camp. They'll hopefully get better, but damn, man, it's getting frustrating sitting up in the stands, and they're getting reps taken away from them. So that was a bunch of pre-snap penalties kind of continued all throughout. Let's show some, I kind of want to show more practice clips. But before I do that, I want to talk to you about DraftKings, because today's training camp recap is sponsored by DraftKings. Baseball fans, summer is in full swing and the season is heating up, from midseason rivalries to breakout performances. Every game is packed with drama, and there's no better time to jump in with our partners at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, new customers who bet just $5, you're going to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers, use our promo code JMFootball, all one word, and bet just $5 on any wager. Get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code JMFootball, only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Thanks, DraftKings. Bang. All right. I want to watch some more clips. Let's watch some more clips. Share screen, window, premiere, bang, share. Let's go to my other timeline. This was the funniest play of practice. This was towards the end. Jameis Winston just deciding to run the ball again. Oh, this is one of those plays. This is not Greg Dulcich, but Jameis once again telling people where to line up. Maybe he was killing the play or canning the play, so I don't want to be too critical of that. And then here he goes. I'm just going to run, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. And I know you can't tackle me. So I'm going to score a touchdown, and I'm not going to stop. And I'm Jameis Winston. He sprints everywhere. He's just a funny dude. Now, this play was fun towards the end of practice. Jackson Dart, the last 3 practices, There have been Jackson Dart plays where it's been him and Cam Scadaboo, and now it was this play today where he has ended practice with some sort of pseudo exclamation point. So this is a play action, and it's just a rollout to the right, and he sees a lot of green grass, and he slides to end it. Look at that slide. Big slide. And he points for a first down. Love it. Flex on him. Flex on him. Maybe slide a little sooner in real life because maybe somebody's going to come take your head off. That was Dane Belton. Dane Belton could have taken your head off in real life, but I like that we're practicing sliding. Practice how you play. You know what I'm saying? What's this next play? Oh, this is Dable chewing him out. This is Dable chewing him out. They had 3 pre-snap penalties in 1 period, and Dable is just absolutely chewing him out. It looks like it's towards Marcus Bowe, but it also looks like towards Bo Collins. Tougher if your name is Bo. Oh, this is so watch Dex here. This next play. Dex is right behind the first down marker. So James Hudson collapsing right down on him, and just Dex, boom, that punch. James Hudson has all the momentum on his side. All he has to do is kind of just lean on Dex. Dex is able to get extension. Boom. What would have been a run stop. And then James Hudson is like, yeah, I know I got my ass beat there. Just insane quickness, insane strength. Next play. Art Green, one-handed interception. You bet it is. So Jameis drops back. 3rd down. Art Green, a guy that we picked up in the middle of last year after everybody gets hurt. One-handed interception over Jordan Bly. Like that. Towards the end of practice as well. Next play we're going to look at, Jackson Dart. I believe this is going to be a run play. Or no, it's going to be 3-step drop. All right, so this is a Jackson Dart 3-step drop. Watch how physical. There's a part of practice where I'm watching it. I'm like, yeah, these guys are going to fight. Because it was between 1v1s where James Hudson and Kayvon kind of get pushy. And then they're kind of getting chewed out by coaching. And they're hitting way more than I've seen. And kind of low-key bringing each other down to the ground. More than I've seen during the Brian Dable era. So watch this. Jackson Dart, nice 3-step drop. Release the ball really quick to, I believe that's little Jordan Humphrey on a quick slant. Cordell Flott, bringing him down to the ground. And I'm like, damn, they're going to fight here. They're going to fight here. Even Dane Belton's maybe shoving a little bit. Dane Belton gives little Jordan Humphrey a little shove there. But no. Nice job by Jackson Dart. 2 pre-snap. You see that the corner's playing off. He's giving cushion. 3-step drop, get rid of this ball quick. Boom, on the slant. Cordell Flott bringing the guy down to the ground. Cordell Flott also had a pass deflection today. I think that is in these clips that we're going to see. 3rd down for the first team. Malik Neighbors. There's something else I wanted to show too. This is Abdul Carter. This is what I wanted to show. Abdul Carter is an interior defensive lineman on this play. He's lined up as a 3-tech. So it's Burns, I believe, all the way on the opposite side of where we're filming. Kayvon's to the right of Brian Burns, and then Brian Burns and Dex, I believe, is also on the field as well. So we've seen that a lot from Kayvon. I thought that was going to be more or less Chauncey Golston's role. Chauncey Golston coming on the field on like 3rd downs as lined up in the interior, and then maybe Abdul would be like a stand-up guy. Now, I still think that's a possibility. I still think we will see that. Different looks. There's players on this team that can do it, but we've seen a ton of Abdul Carter putting his hand in the dirt, lining up as this interior defensive lineman on pass rushing downs. And he did it here. And you also get a chance to see a Malik Neighbors catch. Just the explosion off the ball. Abdul Carter just gets off that ball different. And Malik Neighbors over the middle of the field. Nice job. Russ is throwing the ball to the middle of the field a lot more than I thought that he would this camp. Cam Scadaboo run. He's done this a lot. He's run really well out of the shotgun. The Giants typically run really good out of the shotgun themselves. He's also done this a lot. Patience. Boom, plant his foot, find a hole. That's what he's done. Like all of his runs of 10+ yards so far this training camp have basically been that. So Cam Scadaboo, this is with second team, but he did get first team reps today, I believe. Nice block by Aaron Stinney coming around as a puller over Demetrius Flanagan Fowles. Darius Alexander doesn't take the 1v1 well. Stone Forsythe works his way up to the secondary level as the left tackle. To Darius Mawasu, nice job. Nice run. Cam Scatterboot, nice run too. Obviously stays patient. All right, next play. I believe this may be the nice. No, this is a Tyron Tracy run. Yeah, and again, I want to just show this. Look at how physical they are. Look at how physical they are, man. They're driving each other. The offensive line is moving really well together. On double teams, you see Evan Neal is in here. He works the double team well towards that left side of your screen, I should say. So there, it was a physical practice towards the middle of it. Offense thinks they got a first down. It's probably a 3rd and short. Tyler Newb and Tyron Tracy do some shoving after the play. I thought they were going to fight. And then Deontay Banks, they start chirping. Brian Burns starts chirping with Tyron Tracy. Shows the finger guns. And I'm like, they're getting close. They're getting close to fighting. Didn't wound up happening. Not yet. Another nice Tyron Tracy run. Going off that left side, that right side. Nice run. There's eventually going to be a Malik Neighbors catch. Another Tyron Tracy, nice run. Towards the right side. Outruns Paulson Adebo. Oh, look at JMS. So this is a screen. Look at JMS on this screen. Works his way out. Boom. Gonna put Bobby Okereke on his ass and plant him. Bury him. Get the syrup out, man. This is the play. So watch this. Play action. Now, watch when Russ releases the ball right here. As soon as Neighbors is coming out of his break, the ball is already coming out of Russell Wilson's hands. And that's a really nice catch, really nice play for the Giants and Malik Neighbors. So it's Cordell Flott in coverage. I mean, he does a nice, even Flott does like a nice job of kind of slowing Neighbors down a little bit. Looks like Flott trips. No, he doesn't even trip. He's kind of there. Neighbors is just that good. And this is when you need to release this football. How many times last year did we see Daniel Jones eventually sail a ball out of bounds while Malik Neighbors is coming out of this break because I don't know if I could fit that ball there. Russ is right here. I'm fitting that ball in, and this is going to be a completion. And we're throwing with anticipation. Love it. Awesome. And I think Evan Neal is also in at guard for this play. So Evan Neal is right here at guard, right at the right guard, right next to the center. And he's handling business. Nacho, not much of a pass rusher, but still Evan Neal handling his business on that side. Nice completion for the Giants. And what I like about that play is the timing of when Russell Wilson releases that ball. I'm not waiting for Malik Neighbors to necessarily be open, but I'm delivering that ball when it needs to be delivered as he's getting out of that break. If anything, he's starting that throwing motion before he even gets out of that break, which is awesome. And that is it. That is it. Play-wise, that was the most significant play as a practice. I know that might have been a little tough for audio people, and I apologize, but this is definitely a much better viewed on YouTube experience for today. I'll take questions in the chat. What do we got? What do we have?
I wish I were this, Justin.
Yeah.
Right in the beginning. Let me find it real quick. Anthony says we're going to go to 100 on Carter for Rookie Defensive Player of the Year.
I tweeted that last night. Yeah, I think it's plus 250 right now, which, hey, that isn't really great. It just shows you how much of a favorite he is to win the damn thing. But no, man, those odds, I think they're only going to maybe even go down because you don't want camp to change too much. Like we already had high expectations for Carter, but we were talking about this today, Jeff, and you can chime in if you want. You were asking me when it was Kayvon's rookie year, like because it's cool to compare, right? Like, are we getting too excited? Are we not? Kayvon came in his first camp, and it wasn't this. Like, this is Abdul Carter has been the best pass rusher on the team, and it's Kayvon Thibodeau who has a year of 10 sacks in his career and a former top 5 pick, and Brian Burns, who is a legit NFL pass rusher who averages 9.7 sacks per season in his NFL career. And we're looking at Abdul Carter right now. And if you had to ask me through the first 5 days, like who's the best Giants defensive player right now? in practice, it's Abdul Carter. He's the best player. It's crazy, and maybe outside of Dex, because Dex just hasn't also gotten all the reps because he's still rehabbing from the elbow. So yeah, man, I'm thinking about it because it seems like a slam dunk of putting $100 on this guy to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. It just seems like he's going to do it. So what else we got? Any other good ones?
Yeah, if you want to chime in and some talk about Evan Neal, a couple comments. So I won't highlight anyone specifically, but Evan Neal's going to start. It's competition right now between Neal and GVR. Do you have any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, Evan Neal, my guy, always believed in him. It was a good day for Evan Neal, and it was a good start. The main thing that we need to figure out is, can Evan Neal be a solid pass blocker? I think we know the strength that he can bring in the run game. Jermaine Illuminor even talked about after practice and double teams. The strength that Evan Neal has to help move up to the next level and the second level is good. We know that. Can this guy get out of his stance? Can this guy be a balance? Can he stay balanced? Because I think his power will be fine on the interior, especially if he's leaning on guys a little bit in the interior, which you can get away with that at guard. If you're leaning your weight a little forward, he's going to be a tough son of a bitch to move. But he needs to get out of his stance. And when people try and redirect, and you're not going to have all the space in the world to do what you typically do at tackle, which is good for Evan Neal, because he's going to have to win in a phone booth. But can the feet and can the balance stay with Evan Neal? Can he keep his feet under him at guard? That's going to be the main thing. And I don't know that yet. It was a good day one. The level of competition at defensive line that we're evaluating Evan Neal with is awful. It's not good, especially from a pass blocking standpoint. Nacho, fine as a run defender. Roy Robertson Harris, fine as a run defender. Jeremiah Ledbetter, fine as a run defender. I mean, the best interior defensive lineman right now that Evan Neal could go up against from a pass blocking perspective, not named Dexter Lawrence, is Elijah Chapman. And he's like tiny, but that's what we're going to have to see out of Evan Neal is can this continue? The preseason games are going to be huge for Evan Neal because it will be different competition. And then that will be a better chance for us to see in a game situation, what do you look like? And is your guy making it back to a true quarterback? What else?
Vince from YouTube here. Is the D going to suck against the run again?
I hope not. I certainly hope not. There's a good amount of run stuff today, but also some explosive runs. And that was the issue of the Giants' run defense really last year. It wasn't necessarily the down in, down out consistency of the run defense. It was, all right, well, we were doing a nice job. We've allowed a couple runs of 3-4 yards here, maybe even 2. And the Giants were also top 5 in tackles for loss last year. Between their ability to get tackles for loss and their ability to get sacks, producing negative plays is not the issue for the Giants defense. What it is you got to stop allowing the runs of 10, 20, 30 yards, and you have to stop allowing the pass plays of 20, 30, 40 yards. That's the issue for the Giants defense. If they can even stop doing that, they're going to be better at getting offenses off the field because of what they're able to do, forcing negative plays. They're going to be better in that regard. So that's the main thing taking away from today. Seeing how there was still, even though you're not fully tackling, there was still Tyron Tracy, 2 runs of 10+ yards. Screens that Tyron Tracy did well. John Michael Schmitz is putting JMS on JMS is putting Bobby Okereke on his ass in the open field. Certain things that you don't want to see. I'm going to celebrate the Giants rushing offense and then just hope that the run defense gets better, because it's always tough in camp. As one unit does well, there's questions that inevitably arise with another unit. So that's what they can't do this year. That you just got to stop allowing the big runs, the big explosive runs. And I guarantee you, if they do that, the run defense will look a lot better, because it wasn't necessarily we're constantly allowing runs of 5, 6, 7 yards. It was the daggers that killed the Giants defense last year, run-wise. Couple more?
Yeah, sticking with the defensive line here. Michael on YouTube. Did you see Darius Alexander today?
Yeah.
So how'd he do?
Yeah, I mean, we went through all of the 1v1 plays for Darius Alexander. Yesterday, he showed a little bit more flash of violence and a little bit more pop in his hands than he did today. So certainly that was a little disappointing. Wasn't able to fully follow him for every single play during team drills, but 1v1, little disappointing from him, especially, if you looked at the reps and the plays and the offensive alignment that he was going up against. Wanted to see more out of him today, especially I thought after yesterday, he had a good practice. I thought he flashed some stuff today. First day in full pads, certainly did not, which is a shame. What else? What else, Jeff?
Still looking through there. We saw someone commented on the Giants signing Gunner. If you
Oh yeah, yes, Gunnar Olszewski is back. It's interesting that they bring back Gunnar because I'm sure I have to look into this. I hate special teams. They're important, but I just hate analyzing it. I don't think a lot of people care about it. Even if you think you care, even if you say you care about it, do you actually fully care about it? Just get me somebody that can make kicks and catch kicks and punts. That's all that I want out of special teams. Don't be a detriment. Be a net gain. That's what I want out of special teams. But Gunner's back. And it's interesting because the Giants didn't lose a returner in Bryce Ford Wheaton. Bryce Ford Wheaton tears his Achilles yesterday, which is horrible. His rookie year, he tears his ACL. He comes back year 2, makes the team as a second-year UDFA, makes it as a special teamer, blocks a kick against the Seahawks, and virtually seals us that win and helps us win a football game, the biggest win of last year. The Giants were 2-3 at the time. So it's a shame that I felt like Bryce Ford Wheaton was really solidifying his roster spot, and now, boom, bam, gets hit with that injury. So it sucks for him, a second season-ending injury in 3 years. But he wasn't a returner. He was the special teams ace, right? So Gunner comes in. Is this an open competition with Demir Smith-Marset for being a kick returner? That's something that I'm wondering. Can both of them split duties? That would be cool too. You always have 2 returners out at one time, right? So on kickoff, so you have 2 returners out, right? Amir Smith-Marset, Gunnar Olszewski, and then one of them will be the punt returner. I think they're both good at it. I think Gunnar may be a little bit better of a punt returner. Didn't he had a touchdown against the Rams in 2023. So good to see it. Marshall Green, brother, go subscribe to Chat Sports. Appreciate Marshall. Keep crushing it. We'll do something soon. So appreciate the super chat. Chat Sports, Giants Chat Sports. There's a lot of Chat Sports. I'm probably getting it wrong, and I'm an asshole for that. I think that's it. I want to keep these consumable at like 35, 30-ish minutes. I've been running long with them the last couple of days, so I appreciate everybody watching it. Hope you enjoyed. I will not be at tomorrow's practice. I will be back on Thursday, though. I've been neglecting like other parts of my job and other videos that I need to make for almost 2 weeks now. So I need Tuesday to tomorrow. I'll be in the office. I don't think they're going to go hard tomorrow anyway. They have an off day on Wednesday. I'll be back on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is when they have practices. And then they have an off day on Sunday, and then they'll be back on Monday the 4th, and then they'll take a break until they have the joint practice with the Jets on the 12th and the 13th. I just gave you the whole schedule there. So I'll see you tomorrow. I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you like the stream, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on Thursday for another recap. Peace. Appreciate you. Let's go Giants.